And so I love when I read this. You know, this sounds like Jesus is giving Peter the keys of heaven. And this is why we always talk about and joke about the fact that when we go to heaven, that Peter is going to be standing there at the pearly gates, you know, and that Peter is the one who gets to decide if we get to enter the gates of heaven or not. And it's kind of a fun way to think about things. But most Bible scholars believe that while Jesus was speaking directly to Peter, he was also speaking indirectly to all of the apostles. Jesus also says this again to all of the apostles later in Matthew 18:18. Truly, I tell you, whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. I remember when I was younger, I never really got what Jesus was trying to say to us with this verse. I mean, that's not the kind of language we use very much. We don't loose and bind things like that. It's just a weird concept. But what Jesus is saying here is that the keys of the kingdom symbolize the authority to open the kingdom of heaven to believers and to close it to unbelievers. And they do this by preaching the gospel of Christ. You know, and when we think of someone having the power, Peter and believers who preach the gospel, we don't individually have the power to say, oh, you get into heaven or you don't get into heaven. But we do indirectly have power, the keys to heaven, when we proclaim the gospel to others. When we teach, when we witness, when we tell people about the truth of Jesus and the salvation he offers, and we try to explain to them about how they can be saved through this saving faith in Jesus Christ, we are giving them the opportunity to come to heaven. We are opening the kingdom to them, and then it's kind of up to them if they reject or accept that invitation.